Yeah. Can you change agents while you're looking for a home?
That's a great question. Because sometimes you may make a commitment to somebody, and again, that personality or the relationship doesn't work out the way you want it to. If you have signed a buyer's agent agreement, then it's really up to the buyer's agent whether or not they will release you from it. I have no problems if the relationship doesn't work out. I would always cancel a buyer agent agreement.
Okay.
Just like a listing agreement, I would do the same for my seller if it doesn't work out. But it's something you have to ask the agent.
And I know issues do come up from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
What are some good interview questions that you can give people some advice if they're out trying to find a different realtor or a seller's agent?
You know, I think to ask them what their philosophy is, how they work, you know, because again, we all have different personalities. When I show houses, I talk. I tell people what I see, the good and the bad. But I know there are other agents that are very quiet and don't say anything and let the buyers
do the talking.
If they, And again, it just kind of it depends on your personality.
It's kind of hard to find a balance sometimes between, do you know when to step in and say something, or do you let things go and then figure out whether you should step in and ask questions, or because sometimes people, when you go in and you're being shown a house, sometimes people don't know what questions to ask.
And there is no such thing as a stupid question.
Yeah.
So ask.
Yep.
Because that's what we're here for. And I do this every day. So this is second nature to me. You buy a house once every 10 years.
Yeah.
So
If that.
Yeah. So you don't know the process like I do, and sometimes I might forget. So ask a question, ask any question, and if you're in that buyer agency, if you're working with a buyer and you're not comfortable, talk to the buyer, tell them what your concerns are, and it might be able to be addressed very quickly and easily.
If you see a house that you might like, how do you have the realtors be able to show you that particular house?
Very, very easily. You call the realtor, your buyer agent,
Yeah,
preferably not the listing agent if you have a buyer's agent.
Yeah.
Call your agent, give them the address, or if you're looking at it on the MLS or on, say, hometownlawrence.com website, there's an MLS number. If you give the agent that number, they'll be able to pull that data sheet up.
Look it up.
And then be able to set up the appointment. Some properties are vacant and are very easy to show. Some are being lived in and take appointments.
Yeah, so then, and that's your job to set up those appointments, right?
It is. I think the other thing too that sometimes buyers forget is to be respectful of buyers need to be respectful of buyer agents' time, because they have to realize that sometimes buyer agents may be working with multiple buyers. So we may not be able to show you a property right then when you're ready to see it. Sometimes we may have to make an appointment to show it to you a few hours later.
And that's good to know. Can you explain what is earnest money and what's it for?
Earnest money is to let the seller know that you're serious about the property that you're trying to buy. In this market, it's typical to make an earnest money check for about 1% of the purchase price. So if you're buying a $100,000 house, you would offer $1,000 earnest money. It doesn't go directly to the seller. It goes to a third-party neutral person, which could be the real estate company, or it could be a title company. And you get that earnest money back at closing.
So the only way that you can lose that earnest money is if you back out of the deal?
Absolutely. If you back out of the deal for no reason. If you can't qualify for the loan and you thought you could, then you get your earnest money back. So there are certain ways to get your earnest money back, but I've known this to happen where buyers go through everything, go on vacation, decide while they're on vacation, we've changed our mind, we don't want to buy the house anymore.
And then
Guess
so
what?
they just
They're going to lose
their earnest
Mhm.
money. Okay.
They're going to lose their earnest money.
Can you give us some good house hunting tips when you're looking for a house? What should people look for?
Well, I think the first thing is location. Lawrence is a big town, believe it or not, and you need to find a location that you're more comfortable with, and the price range. So both of those go hand in hand. You have to look at floor plan, and will the floor plan fit your needs? When we talk about buying and selling houses in Lawrence, people have the misconception that the best time to buy is June or July. And actually that's not the case. Lawrence is definitely tied to our rental market. And because of that, many first-time home buyers are in leases that end the end of July. So they're out looking in March, and they may be under contract by April or May. So actually the sooner you start, the better.
Some of the other things that I can remember is ask the people in the neighborhood about what it's like to live there. And one of the other things that I remember is go out house hunting when it's raining. So you can check and see how the rain affects the property and what it does, and just things that you wouldn't normally think of doing. It's just going to check out things.
And there are some locations where I recommend to my buyers that they go drive by on a Friday or Saturday night
And check them out,
check it out.
especially at night or at different times than you normally would to go look at a house.
Right.
And check out, so.
Yes, and you can see what the neighborhood is doing at that time.
So, because it's different at night when you go buy a place.
It is.
I mean, than it is during the day. And sometimes the only way you can do it is just to do those drive-bys.
Well, and if you're looking at an area that there may be a lot of college students living, you can find out if they're partying, those nights, and maybe you want to be right in there partying with them, and maybe you want to be as far away from that as possible.
So.
It's a buyer's choice. There's no right or wrong. That's the one thing I've learned about this business. There's a house out there for everybody, and you just have to find the one that fits.
Yep. And it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen always right away. So you just got to keep working at it until you find what you want.
Absolutely, that's right.
Well, thanks, Amy.
Oh, you're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Happy to do this.
It was, and we hope that everybody will check it out on our website at myownhome.org. And thanks, everyone.